Hey guys, Tony7 here. Said I'd be coming out with a few Modern Warfare videos. Not sure how many I'm gonna do now. This will be the first of those. Playing headquarters on Ramaza. I remembered a map name. Let's go. This is like one of the rare occasions that I was actually playing a 6v6 like public match in this game for the past few days that it's just came out, because I've already kind of chalked up public matches. So many different factors. Okay, you can list so many different things. It doesn't matter. Like, pubs just aren't fun. Like, that's just the fact of it right now. Pubs are just not fun in this game at all. So not gonna be playing this. I'm literally just gonna be playing ground war and gunfight until they make some major changes to the game, because right now literally everything about pubs makes them just not fun at all. Playing with Roman and Sector here. Headquarters. I don't think any of us played much headquarters, so like not only just like learning the map as well, but also learning the game mode here. So we definitely look a little lost for the beginning, but once we get a feel for the map and once we get a feel for the mode as well, we start to really get into a groove. And I don't know, it's like one of the few decent pubs that I've played in this game, so that's why I decided to go with this gameplay. This will probably be like probably legitimately be like the last pub gameplay I post, like I said, until there's major changes. But in this video, I just wanted to go over most of the I could have used get over as well. Most of the things that just really hold this game back right now for me, in my opinion. And I don't think that this game, at its core, is necessarily that bad. I just think that I genuinely think that in order to make this game a lot better, there are a lot of really small, really easy changes they could make to make this game a lot better. Like, I don't think it would take that much effort. Okay, like I'm not a video game developer. I don't code, I'm not a designer, whatever. But I just the changes here, it's not like they need to literally like build something from the ground up. Just like there are so many little adjustments, especially things that have already been done in COD games that they could revert to, that could just make this game 20 times better by making these little adjustments. I don't think it would take that much effort at all. We're just gonna have to see what Infinity Ward does. Luckily, I mean, there is still definitely a lot of delusional people, I think, that just, I don't know. I don't know how they enjoy this game as much as they do. I really don't. Because even when I'm adapting and playing epically and fucking sitting in a corner and sound whoring the whole time, I'm not having very much fun. Like, even if I'm playing well, if I'm playing that style, I'm just not having very much fun. The style that this game needs to be played in order to do well is just not very fun at all. And that's kind of where I'm sitting at now. Like, even when I'm playing well in this game, I'm not really enjoying it a lot of the time, just because of the way that you have to play it to play well. And I mean have to play it. They didn't, the whole statement was like to support multiple play styles in this game. That is not true at all. This game is meant to be a camper's game. It is, yeah, it's a camper's game. There's not a lot of things that encourage you to move in this game. It is a very, very slow-paced, focused style of gameplay. Not a lot of encouragement for moving at all. And I could go into some of those things that factor into that. One, the footsteps are extremely loud. These are like the loudest footsteps I've ever had in a Call of Duty game, or I've ever experienced in a Call of Duty game. And they're just too much. They're too much. They're way too loud. You can't move around the map at all without dead silence if you're playing against people that have their Turtle Beach headsets cranked up to max, burning out their eardrums by H28, and that's about everybody on this game. So it's you just can't really move. You just can't really move. The motto of this game is you move, you die. That's like this game 90% of the time, unless you get dead silence, which was not true a few days ago, actually. Dead silence just got patched to actually be dead silence. When the game launched, it actually wasn't dead silent. I was getting sound hoard with dead silence all the time. So that was cool, but at least they fixed that pretty quickly. I hope that trend continues for the other issues in this game. I don't think it will, but I hope it does. But yeah, that's just kind of how you have to play the game right now. You have to sit, hold an angle, sound whore, and wait until you get a kill, or wait for your dead silence to pop until you move. Because if you move before then, you're going to die all the time. Another thing too is if you look at the HUD here, they separated the red dots from the red dots only pop up on the mini map when you have a UAV or a personal radar active. Gunshots do not pop red dots on the mini map, like I said, unless those things are active. And instead, they show just the red dots, like the general direction on the compass, which is a really needless change, and just makes the HUD really cluttered, and it just makes it needlessly confusing. Like it just doesn't need to be like that. Simply, it just doesn't need to be like that. I don't understand why they got rid of the red dots. That is another thing that I would like to support coming back into this game, is the classic COD mini-map, the way it works. Because I don't understand some of the things that like are apparently like hot button topics in regards to this game. I don't understand, because it literally must be an entirely different community than what I experience. Because some of these like issues addressed in this game aren't issues from the people that I play with and from the people that I hear from and interact with and everything. I love how I just had to shoot that guy through Justin there. So like, to get into those, what I'm talking about is like red dot chasing. Apparently this is a big, my god, apparently this is a big thing that apparently a lot of people have an issue with, is like, oh, people that just chase red dots in the minimap, that really ruins Call of Duty. Which, you know, at least it makes people move. At least chasing red dots makes people fucking move. So, I don't know. I don't really get that. I don't really get that. I don't know if that's like a real argument, if that's just like an Infinity Ward developer thing, if they just like spun that narrative or something, because I don't think that's like an actual thing that that people that play this game actually complain about. At least in my experience, it's not. And plus, if you had an issue with red dot chasers, you could put on a fucking suppressor. So, again, like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. General dead silence. I don't think that dead silence needs to be made a perk. I just think the footstep audio in general needs to be toned down massively. Like, I mean massively. I literally sound whore people from across lanes, from like across the map. It is terrible. Absolutely hate it. Yeah, footstep audio in general needs to be reduced a lot. Maybe like a little bit louder than what dead silence was like pre-patched. Maybe just like a little bit louder than that would maybe be a good spot to have it in. Where it is right now is just it's actually, game's supposed to be what, like the whole I guess like fake term for this game is it's like supposed to be realistic. Bro, these footsteps are literally so loud it's cartoony. Like it's actually dumb. It feels like I'm playing a cartoon with how loud this shit is. It's hilarious. But yeah, so those are some big things that I think could make people move around more. Another thing, sprint out times in this game. People are just like stupid, and they don't think about issues in their entirety. They just think about one thing and don't like consider the whole context. I'll explain what I mean. Something that I've seen a lot is like, oh, the sprint out times in this game are comparable to Black Ops 4 and comparable to recent CODs. So the sprint out time isn't that bad. I don't know what you're complaining about. Well, another thing is the time to kill in this game is way faster than Black Ops 4's, and any recent COD game, like a lot faster. So you have to take that into account. Okay, like this sprint out time with Black Ops 4's time to kill, yeah, it would feel comparable. It'd feel fine. Wouldn't have an issue with it, right? Like it'd be okay. But with this game's time to kill, it feels terrible. It feels terrible. It feels sluggish. And it feels like you can't sprint in any situation, because if you sprint in any situation, you are going to get caught and die. There's literally, just don't fucking move the left stick in this game. That's how you play this game. You just don't touch the left thumbstick. So yeah, that's another thing that really just like bothers me. I don't understand that argument. I don't understand why so many people like how sluggish this game feels. Because that's how it feels to me, right? Like every Call of Duty game, no matter what your thoughts are on it, one thing you can generally expect is like a smooth flowing experience, right? Like at least moving around the map and aiming with your gun and shit feels smooth. But in this game, no, you can't even get that. They 100% nerfed the movement. I think across the board is what it feels like all movement from the beta. And I don't like that at all. One thing that was like a saving grace, I was not enjoying the beta very much either, by the way. One thing that was like a saving grace for the beta for me was the movement. I actually liked the way the movement felt in this game. I thought it was tuned pretty well for the style of game that this is. I thought it fit the game pretty well. You know, not quite. I definitely prefer Black Ops 4's movement. Don't get me wrong. But again, I thought it fit the game, and played quite well with it. But then they nerfed it for the fucking release, and now I don't feel that way anymore. Now I feel like the movement in this game feels super sluggish, and doesn't offer much creativity or freedom to do anything on the fucking map. And it's no longer an aspect of the game that I really like. I don't hate the movement that's in the game necessarily right now. You know, I don't think it's game breaking. I just think that it was something that I enjoyed. It was something that I thought was good, and now I think it's just okay. So that's just like kind of frustrating. That was like one of the few things from the beta where I was like, damn, they actually did something in the beta kind of good here. And then no, just had to roll back on it. So that's unfortunate. Man, we're really gunning through things here. Speaking of guns, ooh, I really set up that segue, didn't I? The M4 is basically like the ICR off of the release of Black Ops 4. It's just like by far the god gun, and nothing can fuck with it except for maybe like a really good MP7 user. That's about it. The M4 is actually ridiculous, and would definitely like to see some tuning to it. I don't even necessarily think that the other guns that I use are even bad. It's just the M4 is literally a god gun. So I would like to see that weapon adjusted. Interesting that it wasn't from the beta, because the M4 was pretty much like the M4 and the MP5 are pretty much the god guns from the beta. And the MP5 isn't as good as it was in the full release, but it's still like the third best gun. And the M4 feels like it didn't get adjusted at all, even though it was right there with the MP5 in the beta. So I don't know. That's a little confusing. I don't know why it's still so like OP off the rip of this game. Kind of confusing to me. Not really too sure on that one. I'll get, you know, why don't I just, I'm kind of just like riffing in this video. I was going to plan it out, and then I was like, I kind of just want to have it be like raw and go through my actual like thoughts on the game. I'll give you one like positive thing. They took out the prestige system for this game, which I was definitely skeptical of that, but the system that they replaced it with, I mean, I haven't had much time with it, but the system that they replaced it with seems decent and seems like it'll be a good grind. And I don't know, if there's like good content tied in with it each season, it might be good. It's really hard to tell right now, but I think the system seems like it'll be good. The new like leveling system seems like it might be good. I'm just not quite sure yet, so the jury's kind of still out on that one. But that's just something I can say, that it at least seems like a decent in concept, so that's good. I haven't mentioned skill-based matchmaking yet. Skill-based matchmaking is awful in this game. It takes it quite literally takes all of the fun out of pubs for me. That is why I've been exclusively playing Ground War and Gunfight, is I don't believe Ground War and Gunfight have skill-based matchmaking to any extent, and if they did, that's fucking hilarious. But pubs absolutely do, and if you don't think they do, I just genuinely think that you're just like ignoring your senses. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do not feel like I'm playing the general population when I play pubs in this game, ever. Unless I'm playing with like a party. Like right here, I've got Roman and Justin, and I'm not trying to roast in this video, but you know, Roman and Justin aren't the two most talented players of all time. And I genuinely think that being in their party like evened out our stats in some way and made the competition a little bit easier for me. Because this, like when I play solo pubs, man, it feels like I'm playing, it's harder. It's harder than League play in Black Ops 4, genuinely. It is. It feels like I'm playing for fucking money. It feels like every match, every TDM is like COD champs. And it's just not enjoyable. It's just not fun. There's no having fun. I can't run around and try a new gun out in a public match in this game. I have to go to Ground War. I can't do that. If I'm playing a pub, I gotta be running my M4 class. I gotta be having all my best perks on. Gotta be having my best attachment set up. Gotta be having my dead silence. Gotta be having my competitive score streaks. Oh, sorry, my bad. I was thinking of a better game. Kill streaks. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So skill-based matchmaking in this game is just like way too fucking strong. It shouldn't be in pubs regardless. Way too fucking strong. And I have a theory. This one I'm absolutely without a doubt positive that the game has skill-based matchmaking. This next part I'm not positive about. But I genuinely think that the skill-based matchmaking is like ruining my connection and search experience in multiplayer. So I've had some connection issues in Ground War when my internet's not having issues, and I've chalked that up to it just being like fucking Ground War. Like, I think Ground War maybe just has connection issues. A lot of people on the server, you know, a little bit different for COD, a new engine and shit like that. I don't know. Just coming up with excuses, really. Something like that. But even in pubs, man, even in pubs, I've experienced various laggy games where it just feels like I'm on a ping that's way too high. It genuinely feels like the game is constantly trying to match me with players of my skill level that just are not in my region. Like, I do not feel like connection is getting prioritized at all because I've had way too many laggy ass pubs for it to be that way. And on top of that, the search times. Yesterday, I was getting some of the longest search times I've ever gotten, and on top of that, like, this game just fucking came out. We were literally getting 5-minute waits for pubs. This game just came out with quick play with multiple modes enabled. 5-minute waits. And on average, you know, 5 minutes like the far end. On average, I like how flashbangs get stuck in doorways, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew about that bug. Happens to me a lot. On top of that, like, the average wait time was like at least a minute to 2 minutes. That's not normal. That's not normal for COD pubs. It's not. Especially with this, like, whole quick play system, that is not fucking normal. Something is going on there. And on top of that, getting pubs where we played against, we made like 2 or 3 6-man parties. We just kept getting matched against 6-man parties, apparently. Completely fucking rage quit. Very interesting that we kept getting matched against 6-man parties in our 3-man party. That was interesting. And because they would all back out at the same time. That was hilarious. That's more of just an anecdote there. I just thought that was funny. But another thing too, like when many people on the other team would rage quit in our games or rage quit on our team, we weren't getting people joining in progress. Like, nobody was fucking joining. And a lot of our games were starting without the lobby being full. We were getting a lot of like 3v3 and 4v4 starts. This game just fucking came out. Like, what is going on with the casual, social, fucking public-based matchmaking? What is going on with it? It's literally terrible. It's the worst pubs I've played in any COD. Period. It's actually fucking awful. So, hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this game. I'll definitely do some more shit like this, and I'm gonna go play Ground War and Gunfight and not play public matches ever again until Infinity Ward comes out with a fucking update and says that they reduce that shit, and if they don't, then I'm just not gonna play it. I'll see you guys next time.